Somewhere in the last few days, something made you cry. Maybe you know why, maybe you don't. But here's the part you've probably never thought about. You are the only species on this entire planet that does that. Not the only animal that feels pain. Not the only animal that grieves. Elephants stand over their dead. Dogs whimper when they're left alone. But not one of them. Not a single other species in the history of life on Earth produces tears in response to emotion. Just you. Nobody fully knows why, and the deeper scientists dig into this question, the stranger it gets. Let's start with what a tear actually is, because most people have never thought about this carefully. Your eyes make three completely different kinds of tears, and they are not the same fluid. The first kind are basal tears. They're running across your eyes right now, keeping the surface wet, feeding oxygen to the cornea. You never notice them. That's maintenance fluid, nothing more. The second kind are reflex tears. Smoke, wind, cutting an onion. The onion releases a sulfur compound. It turns into sulfenic acid in the air. That acid hits your eye, and your lacrimal gland flushes it out. Pure mechanics. Nothing to do with how you feel. The third kind are emotional tears, and these are the ones that make no biological sense at all. In the 1980s, a biochemist named William Frey ran an experiment at the St. Paul Ramsey Medical Center that nobody had bothered to run before. He collected emotional tears from 42 women and irritant tears from 61 women, then compared them under analysis. The emotional tears had 21% more protein. They carried elevated levels of prolactin, adrenocorticotropic hormone, and leucine and enkephalin, a natural painkiller chemically similar to morphine. Emotional tears are not just overflow. They are a distinct biological product, manufactured on purpose. And we still don't have a fully satisfying explanation for why your body bothers to make them. The leading theory comes from a Dutch psychologist named Ad Vingerhoets, who has spent more than 3 decades at Tilburg University studying almost nothing but crying. In his 2013 book, Why Only Humans Weep, Vingerhoets argues that emotional tears evolved as a signal, not a symptom. Think about what a crying face communicates before a single word is spoken. Wet eyes, reddened features, a changed posture, visible across a room in low light, instantly readable, no language required. Vingerhoets and neurologist Michael Trimble have both argued that tears function as a non-verbal broadcast of vulnerability, one built specifically for social animals who depend on each other to survive. And there's real evidence behind it. A 2017 study led by researcher Janice van de Ven, working with Vingerhoets, found that people consistently rate tearful faces as warmer and more trustworthy than the same face without tears. Other research has shown that tears measurably lower the chance of aggression from someone nearby. Something in the human brain reads a tear before the thinking part of the brain has even caught up. But here's where it gets complicated. Every mammal cries as an infant. Every single one. Separation. Fear, pain. It triggers a distress call in every species you can name. That part isn't unique to you. What's unique is that in every other species, that crying fades out as the animal grows up. Adults don't do it anymore. In humans, it doesn't fade. It transforms. The infant's piercing cry, built to be impossible to ignore, gradually turns into something else entirely. Quieter, more layered, and often completely silent. Sometimes the tears come with no sound at all. Sometimes the sound comes with no tears. The infant cry says one thing: I am in danger. Come now. The adult cry says something far more complicated. Grief, relief, overwhelm, connection, something too slow building to have one simple name. There's a phenomenon researchers call crying without a cause, and almost every adult has felt it. You're watching something, a film, a piece of music, a stranger's face, and it happens before you've decided to let it. You didn't feel the emotion building. It just arrived through your eyes before your conscious mind caught up. One explanation ties this to your autonomic nervous system, the part of your body running below conscious control, the same system managing your heart rate and your stress response. When that system crosses a threshold, whether from grief or joy or sudden overwhelming beauty, the lacrimal gland responds. The crying isn't the emotion, it's your body completing a circuit, releasing what built up before your conscious mind had words ready for it. That's probably why crying so often feels like relief instead of just sadness. The shoulders drop, something held gets let go. That's not a metaphor. Your body is doing something real when that happens. So, why only humans? One piece of the answer is your face. Humans have more muscles dedicated to facial expression than any other primate, and you have something almost no other primate has either. Visible white sclera, the white part of your eye. Most animals have dark sclera specifically so predators and rivals can't track their exact gaze. Humans evolved the opposite. In 2007, researcher Michael Tomasello and his team at the Max Planck Institute for Evolutionary Anthropology proposed what's now called the cooperative eye hypothesis. Their argument was that human eyes evolved to be red, so that other humans could follow exactly where you were looking, even from a distance, even in silence. Your eyes were built to be watched, and tears sit directly on top of that system. They catch the light. They reshape the eye's surface. They make an already legible eye even more visible. Here's the part of this question that's harder to explain than the biology. Humans cry at things with zero survival value. You cry at music. You cry at the end of a book. You cry at a landscape, at a piece of art, at a scene you know is fiction, where you understand intellectually that nobody in front of that camera was actually hurt. Nobody's genes spread faster because they teared up during a film. Nobody survives longer because a song moved them. One possibility is that this is simply a byproduct. The system evolved for bonding and distress signaling, and it fires whenever anything hits those same circuits hard enough, including things humans built specifically to hit those circuits. Stories, music, beauty. We built machines designed to reach the part of us that produces tears, and then acted surprised when they worked. The other possibility is bigger, that the capacity to be moved by something that offers you nothing survival-wise isn't a glitch in the system. It's the system working exactly as intended. That a species capable of being wrecked by a stranger's grief in a novel, by 4 minutes of music, by a sunset that does absolutely nothing for its odds of reproduction, was a more cooperative, more inventive, more connected species than one that felt nothing at all. That the tears at a funeral and the tears at the end of a film you'll never watch again are being produced by the exact same machinery. There's one more thing worth sitting with before you go. Of every species that has ever lived on this planet, you are the only one that can be moved to tears by something that never happened. A character who never existed. A story someone made up. A version of your own future that hasn't arrived yet, but suddenly feels real. Alone, in the dark, watching light move across a screen. That's not a small thing. It might be closer to the actual answer of what a human being is than almost anything else we've found. The tears were never really the mystery. The mystery is that you cry at things that don't exist yet, and we still don't fully know what to do with that.